Deutsche Post, DHL, the world's leading mail and logistics company, employs almost 500,000 people in more than 220 countries. As an enlightened global business, DHL has signed up to the United Nations Global Compact and proudly states that its code of conduct is binding for all its employees and suppliers. In 2011, DHL made a massive €2.4 billion operating profit. The same year, a small group of DHL workers called for respect and dignity at work and exercised their legitimate right to join a union of their choice. This call came in a country where brutal crackdowns on those who attempt to practice their democratic freedoms can and do happen. The German multinational's response to this modest claim was aggressive, and it was unlawful. For over 2 years, DHL workers and their chosen union, TUMTIS, resisted a campaign of fear and intimidation waged against them. This is their story. In early 2011, members of ITF union TUMTIS began recruiting in Esenyurt, DHL Turkey's largest warehouse, and at Gebze, an enormous complex of warehouses around an hour's drive from central Istanbul. The workers' demands were simple: decent pay and conditions and a voice in how their workplace was run. DHL responded by sacking workers and union organisers. These sackings would continue throughout the rest of the year. In a strong sign of resistance, the dismissed workers immediately set up picket lines outside the warehouses and sent out a call for international union support. By the end of 2011, Deutsche Post DHL were feeling the heat as the global union's Respect at DHL campaign kicked in. Angry at the company's behaviour, DHL workers across the world prepared to back their Turkish counterparts. Solidarity and coordinated actions were organised and continued throughout the year. Global unions ITF and UNI worked to set the record straight about the union sackings of DHL customers and shareholders. The international message was loud and clear. It's not good enough for DHL to behave well only in Germany, it also needs to in Turkey. Sackings of union members continued, with DHL offering a range of excuses from health and safety risks to poor work performance. But the workers continued to resist, despite the intimidation by local managers who warned them not to join TUMTIS. The implication was clear: leave TUMTIS and keep your job, or join your union and get fired. Then, DHL's tactics to break the workers' resolve went from bad to worse. Two things happened. Firstly, DHL management began to encourage workers to join Taşıma-İş, a new, fake union set up in cooperation with the company. Managers promised job security and better wages for those who did. Then, with the threat of dismissal looming large, the Gebze workers' modest shelter, their only protection from the wintry conditions on the picket line, was destroyed. It was clear to trade unionists worldwide that the battle was on. DHL was pitting workers against each other, and the company was using fear tactics. In response, the international union family intensified its solidarity.
We're here for DHL Families Day. To our brothers and sisters in Turkey, the families, global union family is behind them in their campaign, and that they're not alone.
We are the workers of DHL in Nizhny Depot, and we send greetings to our Turkish comrades who have now been out for 128 days. This is an international struggle, and we are giving you international solidarity. Hopefully some of these workers will be with you on your picket line to deliver that solidarity in person very, very soon. Yaşasın RMT, yaşasın Tuntis.
Trade unions from all sectors came from far and wide to back the picketing workers.
I bring the support and clear solidarity of 4.7 million transport worker union members throughout the world who send their solidarity.
Evidence about DHL's anti-union practices mounted. The ITF and UNI submitted a complaint against DPDHL for violating international guidelines on workers' rights set by the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development. Yet by the end of 2012, union sackings had risen to 23 workers, all with families to feed. After 200 days on the picket line, unions worldwide redoubled their efforts. The dismissed workers and their union continued to fight back through the labour courts and remained ever vigilant on the picket lines. While the dispute was at its height, the intensive organising by a combative Tuntis continued. The union continually met with workers. The prime-time airing of a documentary on DHL's practices in Turkey and other parts of the world allowed the German public to get a real glimpse of DHL and their behaviour outside of Germany. DHL customers and DHL-sponsored events were targeted. ITF and UNI exposed anti-union practices and called upon DHL's key business clients to support workers' rights to join the union of their choice, free from intimidation or dismissal. Pressure on the German government, a majority shareholder in DHL, was sustained and intensified worldwide.
We stand for global workers' rights, and we are totally opposed to discrimination, to anti-union discrimination by a respectable, should be a respectable, standard-observing company like Deutsche Post DHL.
Trade unionists kept the issue alive at the DHL annual general meeting in May. Dismissed Turkish workers, backed by the Turkish community, brought their story straight to the DHL shareholders. And finally, the dispute turned a corner. All the hard work and dedication began to pay off. At this point, a total of 37 workers with families had been sacked for joining the union. But DHL workers joined Tuntis in ever greater numbers. 200 new members signed up in July, allowing Tuntis to lodge a recognition application with the Ministry of Labour. Despite all the obstacles placed in front of them and almost a year and a half on the picket line, DHL workers in Turkey and their union, Tuntis, finally triumphed. In October 2013, they won the landmark right to negotiate a collective bargaining agreement with their employer, DHL Turkey Supply Chain. The vast majority of the sacked workers were reinstated. A collective bargaining agreement was finally signed with the company in April 2014. Nearly 500 days of grit and determination on the picket line, backed by a concerted international campaign of support and solidarity by unions globally, won this important battle. Today, Turkish DHL workers have the right to respect and dignity at work, stability and security for their families. This important victory is opening the door for DHL workers in other parts of the world.